organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up next on Daily Iowan TV, Big City Politics, meet the Hawkeye State. Find out who visited Iowa on their 2016 presidential campaign trail.
It's really helpful. I mean, I would not be able to do it by myself, so it's helped a lot.
Tax season is almost up, and filing those papers isn't easy. We'll look at the preparations behind the tedious work for us all.
One Hawkeye squad had a big win over the weekend.
Find out more in sports.
All this at the top of the hour. Welcome to Daily Iowan TV. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Blake Jorgensen.
And I'm Hannah Thompson. Newly announced 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton had coffee in small-town Iowa on her campaign agenda. Today, Clinton stopped in the town of Monticello, where she hosted a roundtable at Kirkwood Community College. Daily Iowan ethics and politics reporter Quentin Mashek is standing by with details on her first campaign stop.
That's right, Hannah. Clinton's arrival shut down the Kirkwood Community College Center in Monticello today, where she met with students and college staff in a roundtable setting in the school's auto shop. She spent over an hour there, calling community college a true American innovation, and she said it was no accident she chose to stop at a community college. In 2008, her final Iowa rally as a presidential candidate was held at Kirkwood in Cedar Rapids. Now, campaign officials told us she's not expected to come back for a large-scale event here until May, but is reportedly expected to drop a cool $2 billion during this campaign. That's all I've got for now. Be sure to read dailyiowanaepi.com for more.
Black students at the University of Iowa have a new outlet to voice their concerns. The newly formed President's Black Student Advisory Committee will serve as a two-way communication channel between students and administrators to improve campus climate for black students. The committee formed after a controversial KKK effigy was removed from the Pentecrest in December. The 14-member committee of undergraduate and graduate students hosted a forum tonight for all UI students to contribute ideas for creating a welcoming environment for black culture.
Construction on the Iowa Memorial Union is nearing completion. The $21.6 million recovery project is to fix part of the building damaged by the 2008 flood. The proposed opening for the ground floor is June 1st. An official grand opening for the whole project is planned for the first week of the 2015 school year. Construction should be completed by this summer.
UISG is pushing to expand night ride services to men, but officials are wary of potential consequences. Night ride was initially intended to prevent sexual assaults against women, but UI police said the problem with expanding the driving service is dropping men and women off at the same spot, allowing a male passenger with harmful intentions to follow a female home. But UISG Vice President-elect Morgan Britton said the new goal for night ride is protecting women, men, and people of all identities.
And during UISG elections, government transparency was another initiative on UISG party platforms, and signs of that goal tipped off early. This year's student government elections had the second highest amount of votes in election history. 30% of UI's undergraduate student body voted. 6,278 students cast their ballots on ISIS in support of the Real Party and Beach Party.
Iowans are split when it comes to legal marijuana use. According to the Quinnipiac University Swing State poll released today, over 80% of Iowans support medical marijuana, but support dwindles for legalizing recreational use. The state is split, with 47% of Iowans voting in favor and 47% voting against. Even though almost half of Iowa is in favor of legalizing recreational use of marijuana, only 12% said they would consider using the drug. And tomorrow is the last day for all you Liberty lovers to pay Uncle Sam. The race to the finish can be brutal, but as Sarah Hadley reports, when filing taxes, no one is ever alone.
Well, I come in here at 10 o'clock and I'm here till midnight, 1 o'clock on the latest nights.
Kenneth Haldeman is the man behind your taxes. This time of year, you can find him at his office 6 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day.
Oh, I've got a panini press in the back room.
And that can mean only one thing. It's tax season. With tomorrow's deadline fast approaching, the scramble to complete everything on time is on. That means long hours for Haldeman and accountants across the nation. Then there's those who opt to do the job themselves. And for Iowa City residents, they're not alone. That's thanks to some local accounting students from the Tippy College of Business. They've been lending a helping hand all season with the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, which provides free tax prep to residents of Johnson County.
It's really helpful. I mean, I would not be able to do it by myself, so it's helped a lot.
It all had Iowa City's public library unusually packed yesterday.
Tonight's been very busy. Lots of people are last minute.
Back at Haldeman's, there are two employees keeping the calm. His dogs, Jonna and Toby.
They act as doorbells. After they barked at everybody, then they demand to be petted.
Reporting in Iowa City, Sarah Hadley, Daily Iowan TV.
Still to come, a new exercise trend that's hooking students to get healthy and fit.
And in sports, a look at the Hawkeye baseball team and their upcoming game. You know, today was pretty great outside. Would have been a good day to catch a game.
It was a beautiful day. I hope the rest of the week stays the same. Megan, is it going to be?
As the week continues to bring great spring weather, it looks like we may have some chances of thunderstorms coming this weekend. But before we get into those stormy skies, let's take a look at what we can expect for tomorrow. Wednesday is going to be a cloudy day and we'll kick off our morning at a cool 42 degrees. As we head into the noon hour, the temperature is going to rise to a comfortable 60 degrees. As our Wednesday comes to an end, the temperature is going to stay put at 60 degrees and those clouds will still be in sight. Looking ahead at the week, Thursday is going to be a warmer day with highs in the 70s. As we head into the weekend, Friday and Sunday will bring a possibility of thunderstorms. Thankfully, those storm clouds should be gone for Monday. That's all I have in the weather studio tonight. Back to you at the desk.
Today, 1 year ago, marks the anniversary of 200 girls' sudden disappearance from a Nigerian boarding school. Terrorist group Boko Haram kidnapped these girls and forced them to convert to Islam. After the abduction, news spread across the world promoting a social media campaign called #BringBackOurGirls. Political figures including First Lady Michelle Obama were among those wanting a safe return for the girls. Today, the whereabouts of the girls remain unknown.
Relations with Cuba may be improving. The White House announced today that President Obama submitted a report to Congress that would remove Cuba from the state sponsors of terrorism list. The list, which includes Iran, Sudan, and Syria, has had Cuba on it since 1982. The recommendation certifies that Cuba has not provided support to terrorist groups in the last 6 months and ensures they will not do so in the future.
And in relations with Iran, lawmakers are confident they can pass a bill allowing Congress to review President Obama's nuclear deal. The deal to reach nuclear negotiations with Iran has been highly disputed for the last few months. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee said they have reached a bipartisan agreement on that legislation. It would require the president to submit a final nuclear deal to Congress, who would have 52 days to review and approve it.
Fitness lovers at the University of Iowa now have a new way to exercise here on campus. Daily Iowan TV's Megan Coble has the story.
Strength, cardio, toning, flexibility, endurance. These are the key components of the exercise program known as CrossFit. CrossFit is a strength and conditioning program that consists of aerobic exercise, gymnastics, and Olympic weightlifting.
CrossFit is a strength and conditioning program where we focus on functional movements that are constantly varied. We try to do them at high intensities.
And now, students can become a part of this workout trend here at the University of Iowa. The university's recreational services offers many fitness programs throughout the year, and this spring, CrossFit is on the list. This high-endurance program is available at the Fieldhouse on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, with sessions held in the morning and evening hours. Because CrossFit is an intense workout, many students may feel skeptical.
Go ahead and come on in and give it a shot. Sometimes it does look pretty hard, but it's all about relative ability. So, maybe scaling that intensity down, changing the movement, and building your specific movement pattern.
This extreme workout not only pushes your physical ability, but puts your mentality to the test. Reporting from Iowa City, this is Megan Coble for Daily Iowan TV.
Let's send things over to the sports studio, where they're standing by with all the latest in Hawkeye sports. Ladies?
Iowa basketball had their end-of-season banquet last night, and many Hawkeyes received recognition. I'm Taylor Bartz.
And I'm Laura Belanda. Aaron White has been named the recipient of the Chris Street Award for the 2014-2015 season. White was honored with this award at the Hawkeyes' end of the season banquet Monday night.
The Chris Street Award is given out every year to a Hawkeye basketball player that best exemplifies the spirit, enthusiasm, and intensity of Chris Street. Chris Street was an Iowa basketball player who died in an auto accident in 1993 in his junior year.
White ended his career scoring 1,859 points while posting 901 rebounds. White was also first in free throws made with 618 while posting 16 double-doubles in his time here for the Black and Gold. He also capped off his senior season by being named a first-team All-Big Ten player, the 25th player to do this in Iowa history.
In addition to the Chris Street Award, White was also honored with the team's Best Rebounder Award for a historic 4th time. Junior Mike Gazelle was named the Hawkeyes' top playmaker in 2015. Anthony Clemens was named Most Improved. Gabriel Olashani and Jared Utoff shared the team's Defensive Player Award. Freshman Dom Ewell was named the Newcomer of the Year.
The Iowa baseball team has been on the road 25 of the 32 games they have played over the first 9 weeks of this season. The Hawks have won 23 games, including 8 in their Big Ten play.
We caught up with Coach Heller on where the team goes from here, as the Hawks have one more road game to conquer before they begin a 10-game homestand. Tuesday's game against Bradley will be a true test for the Hawks. Heller says this Braves team swings their bats better than anyone the Hawkeyes will face.
They have one of the better hitting teams that we'll see all year long, and from that standpoint, the way we've been winning games is with pitching and defense, with our our weekend starters being really good and doing a great job for us. It kind of puts us in a tough spot, and we need some pitchers to step up in these midweek games and hold people down, and we need to get our offense going. That's probably the biggest thing that this team needs to do.
The upcoming midweek contest will bring out a real challenge for the Hawks, considering they have struggled with them so far this season. Heller stressed the importance of these games and how they can affect them later on in the season.
I think they definitely affect decisions at the end of the year if you put yourself in a position where you're close. That's the way it works. And this team knows that. I mean, it's one of our big goals is to win as many of our midweek games as we can, and we're off to a rough start with that. But we've also been beaten by some teams that I think are pretty good.
In playing such an offensive team like Bradley, the Hawks will really need to step it up and get those big hits that they haven't been getting during previous midweek games.
If we do start hitting like we're capable, I mean, it's going to make things a lot easier, because in the midweek games, a lot of times you have to outscore people, and that's why we've lost the midweek games we have, is that we just haven't hit, and our pitching for the most part has done a decent job, but we just haven't scored the runs.
Getting this last road win will give the now 14th ranked Hawkeyes the big boost heading into their stay at home as they face off against Cornell on Wednesday at 6:05.
The Iowa softball team is coming off a big weekend as they were able to clinch their first conference series win over Wisconsin with a 3-2 victory on Sunday.
Sophomore starter Shayla Starkenberg pitched a career-high 11 strikeouts, and senior Megan Blank hit the 25th home run of her career to secure the win for the Hawkeyes. The win brings the Hawkeyes to a 14-31 record overall and 5-9 in conference play, while the Badgers dropped to 2-9 in conference action.
Iowa will return to action at Pearl Field against Iowa State on Wednesday at 6 p.m. for the annual Cyhawk Series.
That's it for us here tonight, but tomorrow we hear from 2 more Hawkeye football coaches in the weekly spring press conference.
We will also dive into Iowa rowing to get an update on how the rowers are doing this far into the season. Blake and Hannah, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, ladies. You won't need to take selfies at one New Zealand aquarium because you can get your picture taken by an octopus. You can see in this video that Rambo the octopus will swim over to a camera and take pictures.
Her trainer said it took the octopus 3 tries to get the photo right. The cost is $2 per photo, with all proceeds benefiting conservation programs.
I'm in a photography class, and I think the octopus is already better than me. So.
You know what? That's probably true. It takes a lot of practice.
That's all we have on tonight's edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at the same time.
And get local breaking news anytime on dailyiowan.com. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.